The fact that you have stop loss does not really mean you have risk management. You see, risk management has nothing to do with stop loss. Stop loss is actually...
Hello guys, welcome to the first podcast for Patricon Digital Hub. Today we are going to bring you a very special edition of the podcast where I'm going to be speaking to one of the topmost experts we have in the industry. And he has more than 10 years of expertise and experience in the forex trading industry. And with me here, I have Sir MJ Young. You're welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Innocent. Yes. It's actually nice to be on this podcast with you.
It's a privilege to have you here, sir.
You're welcome.
So my first question to you on the podcast is that you have more than 10 years of experience in this market. So I believe you have seen the ups and downs. So can you share a little of your story of how your journey has been?
Okay, thank you. When it comes to story in this industry, many people love from grass to grace story. So you have people who needed to reinvent their story just to draw the attention of the public, to being sympathetic to them, because actually in Nigeria, Africa particularly, anything that does not sound hard, that does not shows that you came from a poor background, you suffered to get it right, people don't buy into it. So most people have to reinvent their story, but that's not how it ought to be. Your story is your story. For me, actually, I stepped into the forex industry just hearing from 3 friends. They were just talking about it one day. Nobody involved me, actually. I just heard money, that you're going to make money. So when I dived into the conversation, I just quickly asked them, please, what are you talking about? Just involve me. And next was when I saw the opportunity for Apostle Joshua Selman in 2010 precisely. People who actually had the privilege to be in that training, about 100, should be able to confirm that, right? Yeah. And for 2 weeks, we were trained. That's where I got the real foundation for forex trading.
From getting the information to meeting somebody like Apostle Joshua Selman, coaching you in the forex industry, I believe there's a mindset that was instilled in you that brought you this far.
Now, what I said is he trained us. Is that okay? So in our startup and our foundation, we had that 2 weeks training. So I wasn't actually talking about a one-on-one mentoring. That needs to be very, very clear.
So it was a training.
So it was a training, and other people had access to that. And it was for 2 weeks. I could remember 9 in the morning a.m. to 3 p.m. every day for 2 weeks. The mindset we were given when we came into forex, for a person like me, I happened to see somebody who was not a proof of just evidence and money. It was a proof of a conviction and a belief and discipline. For some of us, the mindset that were given to us, number one, was a strong bulletproof psychology. Wow. To tell you that, look, in trading, you need to develop a tough mindset. So the mindset that were given to us was a mindset to stay long in the game, a strong psychology to let us truly know that this market is tough and we need to protect our capital. We were never even taught flipping accounts, even though that existed, because that was not the mindset. It's not a long-time mindset. Flipping is a short-time mindset for people who don't want to be long in the game.
You said for you to be a successful trader, you need to have a very strong mindset. Does that mean women cannot trade forex?
Amazing. Women have been proven to be the best forex traders in the world.
Wow, really?
Yes, go across the continent of Asia, you'll find out that women, history has proven that the best traders in the world are female traders. But there is another disposition of a woman that give them an advantage over men in the industry. Wow. And that disposition is this: men are explorers. Women always follow instruction. If you teach a lady SMC, for example, she can stay with price action for all her life. But trust me, just let a man see one forex course and the name is maybe triangular buzuzu. Even if he doesn't understand the name, he said, no, that is it. Let me try it out. Men are mostly strategy prostitutes. in the forest industry. Now, the nature of exploring, if not well managed, we turn a man into what? A strategy prostitute, where a man need to move from one strategy to another without settling down. See, in forest, you need to settle down with something and dig deep into it until you exhaust it. Let me even quickly say this. I think it is very risky for most ladies to date a forest trader without understanding. Wow. Because especially an upcoming forest trader, a non-profitable forest trader, no matter how good you are, no matter who teaches you forest, they cannot circumcise your emotion. The emotions that bring greed, nobody can take it away from you. Only the process and maybe the time, discipline that you will come to learn how to subject your greed to align with the trading, your goals in trading. Most ladies are not patient to follow men through that phase. Is that okay? So if you carry a lady along, in most cases, you may just get a heartbreak plus outbreak from the market. So now you are dealing with double outbreak, because here you are, the lady saw you with $1,000 yesterday. She saw it and you were excited to tell her, I made $100. And now, today, 24 hours later, she met you, you are sad. Say, what happened? He said, okay, stop stumbling. Can you tell me what happened? He said, what happened to the $1,000? He said, it's gone. What do you mean it's gone? Do you understand? What do you actually mean it's gone? Just overnight? And the lady said, no, I'm not cut off for this. How can we just lose 1.6 million naira overnight? Say, this forest thing, please, not me and you. So she may love you. So I do not advise forest traders, beginners who have not mastered the process, except they have a fiance, right? But I don't advise them from the start to take people along, because it may lead to managing a lot of crisis for you. This brings us to management. That's why as a forest trader, we are risk managers. There's nothing like best forest trader in the world. That is an illusion. You find people who have made it in forest. I'm the best forest trader in Africa. There's nothing like best forest trader. There's only such thing as good risk manager.
I'm curious to know, what is your take about ministers that condemn forex trading?
Ministers?
Yes.
Ministers of finance, minister of information.
Men of God.
Okay.
Forex trading.
Okay, ministers. That is a men of God who condemn forex trading. I think we will need to approach this carefully. I would approach it in two perspectives. Okay. Number one, nobody is infallible. Most ministers do not recognize their limitation. If you are not an expert in a field, you are not actually authorized to actually talk, because before you talk, you need to ensure you are an authority, because you might be misleading the people you are talking to. Amidst the people you are speaking to as a minister, there are forex traders, there are digital people, there are people who trade cryptos, there are people who do online business, there are people who do physical business, there are people who do real estate and job. Now, as a minister, you need to realize that you don't choose a side when you speak to people in business. Wow. So it is a wrong thing to actually condemn a particular business when you are a minister. You need to recognize your limitation. To what extent? Now, that doesn't mean you should not maybe guide your people. It means that if you are speaking against people investing their money like to get return, like go to do Ponzi scheme, get quick rich scheme and stuff like that, you are right. Okay, that is actually right. But forex is a skill and a business like any other business. Forex is a skill like real estate. Forex is a skill, it's a business like real estate. You learn it. So anything that is learnable, it means one can have mastery over it. Wow. So for those people who condemn it, there is nothing demonic about forex trading, and there is nothing wrong about it. And I want to say this carefully. I know I'm on air, but I want to say this. I have seen some big ministries that command more than 60,000 seaters. Personally, as MJ Young, as an expert, I've seen their forex trading accounts. Wow. I've had the privileges of seeing some top men of God forex account in this country. Now, that brings me to something important. You see, I hope I can say this now. Okay.
Right.
Most people think most men of God just use tithe and offering. I'm not advocating for anything, but I'm telling you, they just think, look, I will say this to you. There is nothing depletes economy like ignorance. No matter the economy, you must have the skill to multiply money. The skill to multiply finances is what results to any abundance anybody have. This has nothing to do with just whether you are in forest trading or you are in real estate. It has everything to do with every field of life. That means knowledge is a multiplier. So if you do not know how to actually get the knowledge to multiply money and manage money. Okay, listen. There are three things about finances, money, right? Yes. Number one, you make money. Number two, you manage money. Number three, you multiply money. It simply means if I have a job, I can make money. If I have a skill, I can make money. If you give me $10,000, I just made money. But that does not mean I'm a money manager. To actually be able to become very rich, you need to know how to now manage money, which is a different skill. I'm saying this, that even if a man of God and a church and a ministry get tight, which is just 10%, without the skill of financial management and multiplication, they will never become big. If not, if it's that easy, you open your church. Do you really think, let me come to this. I think you have just touched me here now. Let me come to this. Do you think 10% people pay to church make them poor? No. Let's come to talk about something. I will say something to you right now. I don't care the belief of people and what they stand for, but let me tell you something. You have 100% and you get 10% and they left the 90 with you and you became poor and you say it was the 10% you gave that made you poor. It's not possible. It means you mismanage the 90%. People are not poor because they pay tithes. People are not poor because they gave to church. All these things are just nonsense, excuses for mismanagement. What did you do with your 90%? Then somebody gives a 10%, and then you say the 10% is the reason the pastor is rich, and the 10% is the reason the person is poor. No, they left 90% with you. You must be foolish. There are three laws I said when it comes to money. Number one, you must know the law to make money, the law to manage money, the law to multiply money. That means if you are poor with 90, you don't know money management and money multiplication law. Your pastor was not responsible for it. Your 10% will go anyway. Whether you give it to church, or you give it to food, or you give it to transportation, or you give it to anything. Everybody gives 10 and more than 10% in life. So I want to stay on that a little, if you don't mind. Are you getting me now? So everybody do more than that. But here is my problem. Here's my problem. Let me balance this quickly. Is that okay? Let me balance this. I have a problem that church collect 10% and do not teach people what to do with the 90.
Wow.
You see, this is my problem.
That's a big statement.
That's a big statement. The problem is this. I think where the emphasis should be is this. I have 100%. The church collected 10% and never care what people do with the 90. Why many people don't see maybe results in their finances and they thought it was the 10% that was their problem is because they were not taught what to do with the 90. Remember, the 100% you got as salary or income is called making money. The next level is what? Managing money. That means you can be taught how to manage money. It's a skill.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Then you can be taught how to multiply money. This is where Forex trading comes in as a skill. Digital, skill comes in. So people are not taught, how do you turn a skill into a business and a business into what? An empire. So you can be truly taught how to manage money. There's nothing wrong with it because many people are bad managers. Anything you mismanage, you lose. If you mismanage your Forex account, what happens? You lose it. You blow it. So if you blow your Forex account, mismanagement is the focus. That is why we have risk management.
And I just want to ask from just what you said about risk management. What is your own idea about risk management? Does risk management mean using stop loss on a trade?
This is big. Let me ask you a question, Innocent. I think this is very important. The first question we need to ask is, Africa has one problem, and I'm coming to that. And the problem is we always swallow anything that comes from the white without questioning it. Who introduced the idea of stop loss? Why was the idea of stop loss introduced? So I need to come into that because you asked, does risk management mean using stop loss? The fact that you have stop loss does not really mean you have risk management. You see, risk management has nothing to do with stop loss. Stop loss is actually you telling yourself that you won't go beyond this loss. But let's say you have $100 and then you want to have a stop loss for $10. If you have a bad strategy, it simply means by the time you lose 10 consecutive trades hitting your stop loss, you have still blown your account. So the problem is this: you may stop the loss, but you didn't stop the real problem. So risk management is far from having a stop loss. Stop loss is good. There's nothing wrong about it. But the issue is this: you can be bleeding with stop loss. It's like somebody was shot somewhere. Two people were shot. One shot straight to the head, into the brain. The person fell down, died. Another one was shot somewhere that they begin to bleed to death. So some traders, stop loss is just a way of bleeding to death for their account.
So does that mean if you have a good strategy, you can ignore the use of stop loss?
It is not a law. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Who made that law? What should decide you? Okay, innocent never trade without a stop loss. Question number 2, where should you put stop loss? You see, that simply means my strategy has to decide where I put my stop loss. And I'm going to tell you something. Any trade you enter that you can't go to bed to the next 6 hours, it simply means something is wrong. If you are not a scalper, that simply means if you need to keep looking again and again every 30 minutes on your chart, I didn't say you are studying the chart. I said you are scared of that trade. Fear is a proof of bad risk management. Fear is a proof of bad risk management and poor psychology. So if you ever see somebody afraid, oh, this trade is going to, he's risking too much, your strategy must accommodate stop loss for you to use stop loss. And your strategy must define what stop loss, at what, maybe what pip. Your stop loss may vary because of your strategy. You can't just decide and say your stop loss is 20 pip, 10 pip, 50 pip. Who made it that way? You have to allow your strategy to do what? To decide. And that brings, Mr. Innocent, before you go there, that brings me to something. Give your trade room to breathe. Most traders are losing because of stop loss. They don't know, they have not mastered the use of stop loss. Some stop loss are too tight that the trade doesn't have the room, the window to breathe. So the trade move 25 pip, hit the stop loss and move 100 pip back. And then they are like, oh no, I would have taken this is why I would taken out the stop loss. Some traders move stop loss, another bad habit of poor risk management. That you hit a stop loss does not mean you lose. You only stopped the loss from being more than what you got. Okay. In other words, a stop loss is another way of ensuring you can profit tomorrow. So stop loss is not a negative thing. It's a positive thing. How do you know a trader gone bad? The amount you are losing? No. If it has invalidated your setup. You see, okay. So the point at which a trade invalidates your setup is what is called stop loss.
Still on the issue of stop loss, what can you say about people who flip? There is no use of stop loss in that.
Okay, Nigerians need to hear this. A poor man should have no business with flipping. There are 3 levels of financial status. Number 1, survival level. You start flipping account, you start trying flipping if you have already grown financially to the point where you can handle the consequence. The implication of flipping an account is the fact that I can lose this $1,000. So imagine this is the only $1,000 I have. If this $1,000,
you see people trying to flip $20
to $1,000, they can try it because it doesn't have any effect on them. What is $20? Let's be frank. In fact, there's no risk management for $20. What's the risk management for $20? How can somebody fund $10 and say he's using stop loss? What do you want to stop? MJ, but I don't have, I can't afford $20. Get a job. Get a job. You need to be real. Get a job. If you are the survival level, it means you do not have the income to handle your consequence. Whatever you do in Forex comes with implication. So $20 is all I have. What am I stopping? Get a job. $20 can't make you rich. It is for learning. So if you have $20, what do you do with it? Invest in yourself. Come to Patricon Digital Hub and beg. Let them accept you for $20 and learn something. You see, use that money, your first $50, to learn the skill. There are 4 people you must pay, and you must pay them sequentially. When it comes to Forex trading, if you don't pay the price sequentially, you will pay it consequentially. It means there is consequence for breaking the order for paying the price, the sequence for paying the price. What does that mean? It means the first person you must pay is not the market, it's not you. You are not among the first people to benefit first. You must first pay a mentor. So the person who just come to flip, he has not even mastered the market. How do you master the market? Stop the University of YouTube. Go to a mentor, find a mentor, pay a mentor. 2, you can pay an expert. What's the difference between an expert and a mentor? An expert is somebody who have mastered the skills. He may have courses. He may, are you getting me?
Yes.
But he doesn't have the time to give you full access to himself, to hold your hand from beginning to finish. He doesn't, because when you are mentoring people, you are mentoring more than finance. You are mentoring their personal life. Don't allow somebody who only earns 20,000 naira a month to go into flipping. That is what mentoring can do. But an expert will not tell you that. Why? You pay an expert once, and then he collect the money and give you the value, and then he disappear. No guidance. But a mentor give you access for guidance. So for mentoring, you are not paying for knowledge first. You are paying for access. You see the difference? Yes. So when you pay for a mentor, you are paying for access. You are paying for relationship. You are paying for guidance. Therefore, my 10 years can shorten your own journey to become 1 year because of my experience, my guidance, and so on. Is that okay? So
I want to ask, sorry to cut you short, I want to ask, what can you say about Forex mentors that sell courses?
Now, Forex mentors that sell courses. Yes. Okay.
Are they truly making money from the market
or
from the courses?
So you are bent on selling courses. If they are making money from the market, why are they selling? That's a poor man way of thinking.
Really?
That's a poor man way of thinking. You see, like I said, our root problem is our mindset. The poor man feels if it is working, he should keep it to himself. He should give it free or keep it to himself. But nobody kept education, the knowledge of being a medical doctor, to themselves. Let's take this. The man who invented car. Imagine he made one for himself and kept it to himself. He would have been poor. He would be the only car owner, but a poor car owner. You know why? Because nobody multiply money by actually just keeping it to themselves. They multiply it by selling. Selling is the act of multiplying money and skill. So the reason people actually sell courses is not necessarily because they are not making money for the market, from the market. It's number one, you need to know that to multiply money, people sell. They have to sell. Number two, people sell courses to raise capital. This is a third world nation, and I will tell you, it's even a sixth world nation. You learn a skill called trading. Like I said, trading is a skill and a business. You learn the skill of trading, but you came from a family that is poor. Where do you get the $10,000 to start trading at the level you want to trade? Not forgetting. Don't forget, guys, listen. Don't forget, the global financial market was not designed for the poor. I think that is a big one, right? So this is why people sell. Because they need to raise capital. It was not designed for the poor. It was designed for the rich.
We've seen people that have grown from nothing.
We have seen people, how many percent? Anything that has less than 5% chances, success, is not a law. you understand this. The global financial market was made first to multiply money, not just to come and make money from nothing. That means if I want to multiply money, I have to have money. There has to be a source. I have to have a source first. Please take statistic. People who already have stable financial income succeed faster in Forex than those who had nothing.
Wow.
Because psychology is more than knowledge. Psychology is a financial state too.
Does that mean if I have $50 and a good strategy, I can't succeed?
You can succeed with $50 and this thing, but your chances are low. Come to think of it, $50. 10% of $50 is what? $5. So 10% is nothing to you because it is just $5. But if I have $5,000 and I'm making the same 10%, I'm already making about a million naira a month. So capital matters. Wow. Because small capital is a sin in the Forex market. If you commit that sin, the market will not forgive you. It will punish you. You are competing with big institutions, market makers. You are competing with people with billions, a $7-point-something trillion market. And you came from this part of the world behind already. Then you brought $50 and then you said you just want to succeed. I'm not saying you might not, but if we bring 10,000 people with $50, how many of such success story will you hear? One. Is that what you want to give as legacy to the generation? I will advise anybody coming into Forex to get what? Something doing. Okay. You see what I'm saying now? Okay. I'm not saying you can start with $20. Have something doing. It will impact your psychology. When you don't know what to eat, you'll be asking the market to give you what to eat. And that will put pressure on you to go hard or go home. And I can assure you, you will go home.
So do you think the way we approach Forex in Nigeria, particularly in Africa, the way we approach Forex, is it the same way they approach it over in maybe Europe?
Other continents and the rest? Frankly speaking, no.
Why do you say that?
Forex in Nigeria, 95% of the traders are gamblers. They don't even know what the industry is.
Wow.
Forex have an ecosystem. We have the industry, we have the trader, then we have the market. Many people in this part of the world, we focus on the market. We don't focus on the industry. The industry has a lot to teach. The industry decide a lot. If you understand the industry, you understand the importance of risk management. Do you know abroad, you don't have 1,000 leverage, 1 to 1,000 leverage.
Really?
Yes. If you go to America, there's nobody trading with 1 to 1,000 leverage, 1 to 500 leverage.
How come we have that in?
Because it's not much regulated. This is a dumping ground. So you have brokers with unlimited leverage in Africa. But the same broker cannot operate more than 1 to 200 leverage in UK, in US.
Really?
You know why? Because leverage alone regulates risk management. If you have a leverage of 1 to 20 and you have $10,000, you can't enter 100 lots. You can't enter 50 lots. You can't enter 20 lots. That means they have regulated the amount their citizen can lose, can risk even without the citizen. That means greed has been checkmate from the start. So you now see how they do things over there. Go and ask all the broker that gives you. I'm not saying leverage is bad. Leverage is two-edged sword. Why do you think abroad they don't flip in Europe? Go and find me one US guy that's talking about flipping. You know why? The leverage does not allow for flipping. Flipping only happens when there is big leverage. There's large leverage. Find out from what I'm saying.
Wow.
So abroad, they have a stable way they trade. These guys are contented with 5 to 10% in a month. In Europe, they try to grow. They focus on growth. Here, we try to blow. And the only thing we blow is our account. If we want to start approaching Forex well in this part of the world, we will need to start curtailing a lot of things. I'm not necessarily talking about regulation. I'm talking about regulating yourself. Like stop loss, I say stop safe rather than stop loss. Is stop safe. When you stop yourself, you can stop loss. If you can't stop yourself, you can't stop your losses, because you are the problem, not the market. The market mirrors you. When you have a get quick rich mindset, you come to Forex, your greed will multiply. The market multiplies whoever you are. The market does not give you beyond who you are. It multiplies your greed, multiplies your expectation, multiplies your discipline or indiscipline. The market is a multiplier. That is what you need to know.
Truly amazing and truly eye-opening podcast with FX Oracle, Sir MJ Young. Guys, if you really enjoyed this session with us, make sure to follow Sir MJ Young on Instagram at FX Oracle, and also follow Patricon Digital Hub at Patricon Digital Hub. And don't forget to subscribe. We'll bring you more success stories. We'll bring you more expert tips on how you can succeed in Forex trading. Until then, I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much, Sir MJ Young.
You're welcome.
Yes.